Imagine you're scrolling through your favorite social media platform. Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, or TikTok, they all do have one thing in common. They are contemporary society's number one double-edged sword, like a scale teetering back and forth between helpfulness and harmfulness. But should we hold it on the high pedestal that it is in day-to-day society? Luckily for us, the Rotary gives us a test that can help us answer this very question by asking 4 subsequent ones. They are as follows. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Does it build goodwill and better friendships? And finally, is it beneficial for all concerned? By answering these questions holistically, we can answer our greater inquiry at hand. Does social media have a place in our high-functioning society? Now, as someone who does use social media and loves it and has for many years, I can say that I'm only critiquing it here to make it better for everybody. So, moving right in, our first question, is it the truth? Since that's somewhat hard to apply, we're going to have to extrapolate just a little bit. How about we take some examples? Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Are they the truth? The first thing that comes to mind is fake news. We hear all about it, but what is fake news? Well, luckily, a class at Penn State University took a class and wrote an extensive essay on fake news, and they define it as, quote, fabricated information that mimics news media content in form, but not an organizational process or intent. Wordy, I know, but fake news is said to be all over sites like Facebook and Twitter. While not all news is fake, because fact-checking exists. Sites like Facebook and Twitter have a rigorous fact-checking system that has been put in place and, for that matter, put to the test in recent years. But, moving back to our unanswered question, is it the truth? Well, that's really hard to say, and we can't be sure. So, I think that really does answer our greater question in hand. The next question that the Rotary asks us, is it fair to all concerned? I can answer that with a confident no, for 2 main reasons, per the different kinds of social media platforms. With sites like TikTok or Instagram, influencers can sit on a pedestal above everybody else, cherry-picked by the elite of a company or society. And there's an algorithm in place that prevents people of different demographics from getting ahead. With sites like Facebook, our main issue there are bots. What are bots? I'm sure you've heard of them before. They are fake accounts that exist merely to promote ideas, write fake reviews, or boost things like followers or likes on a post. Now, with these bots that are said to be commonplace in Facebook, along with our influencers sitting above everybody else and the algorithm that makes it almost impossible for some people to get ahead, it's quite clear that social media is not fair to all concerned. Moving on to the most complicated and hard to answer question of the Rotary test in regards to social media. Does it build goodwill and better friendships? I'm sure that many of us have met amazing people and bettered our friendships through social media. It provides a place where posts and timelines can act as relics of a bygone age, where friends and family and coworkers can relate over time well spent. But as much as I wish that social media could pass this part of the Rotary test, it again does fail. We in America are in a crisis. I'm sure you've all heard that quite a lot. This crisis is a cyberbullying crisis. The Journal of Adolescent Health released an article stating that nearly upwards of 40% of adolescents are the victims of cyberbullying, the majority of which being young girls. Additionally, sites like Facebook create a political minefield that's only dividing us further in a time where we as a nation can't afford to feel, let alone be, any more divided than we already are. So, does it build goodwill and better friendships? No. Moving on to the last question of the Rotary test, is it beneficial to all concerned? Now, I'm sure a lot of us can think of a time where we sat down on Facebook and found it very beneficial to scroll through posts, but at the end of the day, I can again confidently say that no, it is not beneficial to all concerned. On top of the many examples of things I've given before, like the influencers or the algorithm, the bots, the cyberbullying, already making it seem not very beneficial. There are other things, like research has shown that it promotes toxic beauty standards for the youth of society. So with everything we've already talked about, it's quite clear to see that it's just not beneficial. With all of these questions answered, our conclusion is clear. Social media does not have a place in society, but it's not that simple. It's so beyond ingrained into our day-to-day lives and society as it works that it's impossible to get rid of it entirely. So we're gonna have to do some tweaking and rearranging. I propose that we start by making things like cyberbullying intolerable, make them punishable, ban accounts more frequently, things of that nature. And at the end of the day, I really don't want to give up my social media account, and I know that you don't either. So today, whenever you go home and you start looking at your Facebook account, I propose to you to ignore that mean post from your aunt about how mad she is about the political state, and I propose to you to make a compliment on somebody's post instead. You're making the world a better place. Thank you.